And I'll never forget the day that I got the box and I opened it up and I put it on. And I started to cry. Have you ever seen a thing that you just fell in love with right away? Love at first sight. And you just knew you had to have it. You had to. That happened to me with a wig. I fell in love with it. It just seemed like no matter where I turned, I was seeing it. My mind was fixated on it. And I was just, all these videos were coming into my YouTube stream. And I'm thinking, that must be for me. Everyone looked so good in it. And I just felt like this is the dream. This is the dream wig right here. So I went to order it. And it was $500, over $500. And that was a lot considering my last wig cost me somewhere around $50. I had some premium wigs, but not that premium, right? The color, the cut, everything about it, the cap, it was elite. In fact, it was editor's pick, elite, from Raquel, Welch. So I finally figured out how to buy this ridiculously expensive wig. And I found out that it was on back order. And I ended up having to wait for 3 months to get this wig. 3 months. And I'll never forget the day that I got the box and I opened it up and I put it on. And I started to cry. And they were not tears of joy. Let's talk about it. So this will have a wig review in it, but mostly this video is to talk about wig variation and how there is an industry standard for variance in wigs. And when I say variance, I mean color variation from dye lot to dye lot, pattern variation of the mix of colors, whether there's supposed to be 50-50, but there's maybe 70-30 of one color versus another, of highlights, how many highlights, where the highlights are placed, whether it's chunky or blended, the cap size, whether it's an average, a petite, or a large. There's variation that is considered acceptable because these things are made by human beings and we are not perfect. And don't be fooled. When it says machine-made wig, basic cap, a human being used a sewing machine to stitch that together. A human being was still used to create that wig. Hand-tied wigs are 1 or 2 hairs at a time with a human being. It's almost like knitting, or crocheting. It's a stitch at a time, a stitch at a time. So that's even more human variation at play. So it's expected, right? Different people do different things. Different people do different things on different days. I knew that. I knew that when I got this wig. But I was shocked at the variation. Now I'm going to share with you some images that I just randomly got offline right now. I just plunked in editor's pick images to see what everybody's look like. And what I found was all the images that I saw online, which you're going to see here, were the same images I was seeing in wig reviews on YouTube. And it was a beautiful kind of wavy style. It was billed as a deconstructed curl, wavy, and it was just stunning. So let me show you, after you've seen the pics now, what it's supposed to look like, what my expectation was, what I had paid the big bucks for, what I waited for months for. When it finally came, let me show you what I put on. So, this is the biggest, bushiest, most voluminous wig I have ever tried on. Don't get me wrong, it's a beautiful wig, but it is not what I thought I was going to get. It doesn't look anything like any of those other pictures. And hey, I love Dolly Parton, okay, as much as anybody else. But this is a Dolly Parton wig, in my opinion. It's big. It's bigger than life. It's over the top. It's very high on top for me. That's quite a bit of difference there. It's quite a height because this baby's got, this is an elite hand-tied cap. How did they get permatease in there? There's a lot. There's so much poofy, pillowy bounce in the top of this baby. I do like this little bump in the back. Can you see that? This baby is big. And the curls are curls. These are legit barrel curls. Nobody else has such big, giant, bouncy, round curls. I've had this wig in this box for 2 years. 2 years. Can you believe that? I didn't return it because I thought it'll look better next week when I pull it out of the box. I'll give it some time. Pulled it out and I wanted the color, SS Biscuit. And I thought, this isn't SS Biscuit. I have SS Biscuit in other wigs. This is not right. Where's the money pieces? The lighter stuff at the front that other people in SS Biscuit had. Real white in the front. I didn't have that. I didn't get that. I did. I pulled her out like a week or so later and I tried it on and it was shock and awe again. And I'd watched videos where people call it a deconstructed curl enough times to know, well, maybe I have to deconstruct these curls. Well, it might surprise you to know that I have brushed this thing out thoroughly with a brush, trying to deconstruct these curls. And they are locked into individual locks of curls. I brush it and it bounces right back. It is one of the most stubborn wigs I've ever met in my life. Now, if I was going to a wedding or Prince Charming wants to invite me to the ball, I would go with this. I wouldn't touch it. I'd leave these big old curls, even though it's way bigger over here than over here. And I've tried to smash her down. She just is a little too much for me. But what bothered me more than anything was the color pattern is not what I expected. And the curl pattern was not what I expected. As a hand, this was my second hand-tied cap. And my first hand-tied cap, which you saw me open with, is Elizabeth by Josie Renwah. And she's got, I can see through her. I don't know if you can, but let me see if I can figure out how to show you. You see through there. You can probably see in my background. Can you see me? I don't know, but there's nothing there. There's no permatease in this hand-tied cap. This isn't really permatease. I guess this is the end of the hairs, return hairs. They clumped the pieces together. I'm not sure. But I took her out of the box recently and I thought, I got to do something with this wig. I got to figure it out. Now, she's heat friendly. And I'm probably going to take a curling iron to her and remove these barrel curls. I don't know. Part of me thinks I should sell it to somebody who will love this because it is in and of itself a beautiful thing. But I wanted loose waves that kind of dropped down more like this, which is what everybody else had. And look at the difference if I had, you know, this kind of beachy wave versus the boing boing of barrel curls. They're just not my style. Just not me. And it's a beautiful wig, so maybe it's somebody else's. Maybe it belongs to somebody else. But also, it's heat defiant. Maybe I am meant to use this wig to teach myself to make it my own. So I'm not sure. Of wig variation. Industry standard is 10 to 15%, but obviously you're going to come across wigs that they defy all odds of getting the wig you wanted. And I probably should have just returned this wig, but I was new enough and I wanted it so badly. I wanted it. I wanted that look so badly that I kept thinking, I don't know, I would figure it out. And 2 years later, I still haven't figured it out. She is the most expensive wig that I own. I didn't get some mega deal sale on this wig. So the intent of this video is to prepare a new wig wearer to not expect to get the image that you've seen online. Do not ever expect a stock photo to jump out of that box, because those stock photos are, well, frankly awful. And if you see the wig wearers in videos on YouTube, the wig they got is not the wig you're going to get, and expect that it's going to be different. Now, that said, and while it can be stressful not getting what you thought you were going to get, there is a silver lining to this. And that is that this wig was so incredibly popular that Raquel Welch's #1 top-selling wig, I think, in their history. Every wig wearer has this wig, just about. And none of them look alike. And that's a beautiful thing. You don't want to look like, oh, look, she's got editor's pick on. Look, I see it. Look at that. She got my color too. No, that variation is a blessing. It's a blessing. Be grateful for that. Okay, we got to count our blessings. And I am grateful for those variations. I really am. But sometimes it can be a real shocker. And I just wanted to prep you. If you're a new wig wearer, just when you open that box, be ready for a surprise. Okay? Just be ready. And if you are a wig veteran and you've had some of this kind of these stressful, catastrophic experiences with unmet expectations, then I'm sorry if I have triggered you today. But it's all good. It's all good in the wig world. So let's take a look at Editor's Pick, My Editor's Pick by Raquel Welch. As I said, this is an elite cap. She has a beautiful ear tab to ear tab lace front. She's got this grip right here so she won't slip back on you. Hand tied. You cannot even see, barely see my fingers in there. Can you see that? Gosh, I don't know if that's showing up on camera. I hope so. But it's thick. It's way thicker than the Elizabeth. This is hand tied all around. There are some closed wefts at the bottom, which is supposed to help keep that hair down, and which is probably a blessing. Oh, there's a finger. Some right through there. Now, oh, in the back, it's much thinner than it is at the front. You can see how much thicker it is up there. She has the velvet ear tabs, a velvet extended nape, the beloved Velcro. She's in a lovely color, which is SS Biscuit, and I think this is such a popular color. I'm going to move in a little bit. Now, she came out of the box with a center part. You can see, even at brushing and shaking her, some of that zigzag is still in there. But she has a beautiful lace front. All those highlights in different colors kind of brought forward. I don't know how the light in the camera's picking it up, but in the mirror, I am not seeing the white banding that you can get sometimes with the blondes, because I didn't get the money pieces around the front like everybody else did. So maybe that's the blessing of this wig. Pulling my ear tabs forward here. Let's see what we do when we tuck it. These tendrils are very long and clunky. And as I've said, I've really tried to brush this out. But I feel like for a hand-tied wig, this is very dense. And I think there might be more hair put on this wig than maybe was intended. She'd probably look really cute with headband holding this part down right here. She has a beautiful bump up here. This is, oh my goodness, my mom in her day in the 60s, woof, she actually had hair pieces to get that bump in the back. And this one just came with it naturally, and I love it. So there she is. Do these dimensions. So 4.5 inches. Everybody else had bangs. Let's see if we can find some bangs. I swear this might be a different wig. I feel. No, there's bangs. I'm always thinking they put the wrong wig in the box. But there's the bang. 4.5 inches. From crown down, I think this measurement is an overall measurement of 10 inches. That usually is a shoulder duster for me. So just barely above the shoulders, not really touching my shoulders at all. So that's the overall length. The nape in the back is 6. The back layers are 9 inches. The side layers, they say 8. But as you can see, they all look very long. There we go. Here's a shorter piece. So I have like an 8.5 inch, and this is from the side back here. So I would buy that that's probably 8 inches curled. Oh, something else that's really cool. Because this is such a popular wig, it comes in 36 colors. That's awesome. Wow. It's an average cap. One of the beauties of an elite cap is that they're smaller in the back. I mean, obviously it would accommodate a lot of hair, but it's not designed for a lot of hair. I think these elite caps are designed for people with thin, fine hair or missing hair, if that makes sense. They all seem to fit a little snug compared to the real stretchy, open wefted caps. That said, this is considered an average cap, and average caps are designed to fit a circumference of 21.25 inches around to 22.5 inches around. I'm 21.25. Pick. That could have a nice trimmed bang in it if you wanted. Yeah, could totally do that. But why would you want to get too much of a bang when you have such a beautiful, I mean gorgeous hairline? I'm telling you, the lace fronts to me are just the ticket. She's back a bit far. Let's bring her back. There we go. Back within reason. I don't know. I want to I want to love her so much. I want her to be something she's not. I have my eyes on Wavy Day and some others. I love Raquel Welch, but be advised, she makes big hair. If you are big and bold, you want beautiful, that's where to go. Check out Raquel. She got you covered there. All right. I think I covered all the deets. Thank you so much for tuning in. I'm Josie. I'm aging into beauty. I wear wigs, and I want to help you wear yours. Thanks for coming, and I'll see you in the next one.